This is Pastor Jeff Chavis. I'm the pastor of Church Online. You can find us at churchonline.com, but we spell that uniquely. It's CHRCH because we say all that's missing is you. churchonline.com. This morning, I'm thinking about this one passage of Scripture. It keeps coming up in different readings and different things I've been doing, and it's Psalm 37, verse 4, and it tells us, "Delight yourself also in the Lord, and he shall give you the desires of your heart." And we've probably heard that one before. Maybe we've heard somebody quote that, or we've heard a pastor speak on that. But it's an interesting little phrase. It is really encouraging that if I delight myself in the Lord, he's going to give me the desires of my heart. But the question comes up, what does that really mean? What does it mean to delight in something? Is that the same as, I delight in, I don't know, taking a hike in the woods? I delight in this, box of chocolates. No, obviously it's different delighting in the Lord, but always we have to look at the context. What's being said in this psalm and what's leading us to that little phrase? Well, let me back up and read the first part of the psalm. We'll start with Psalm 37, verse 1. It starts out, "Do not fret because of evildoers, nor be envious of the workers of iniquity, for they shall soon be cut down like the grass and wither as the green herb. Trust in the Lord and do good. Dwell in the land and feed on his faithfulness. Delight yourself also in the Lord, and he shall give you the desires of your heart." Okay, so the first part of it says, and it's a command, do not fret. And that's something may or may not have a problem with this morning. I don't know. In some versions of the Bible, it says, do not be agitated or don't be worried. Again, maybe that's your story today. Maybe there's some worry, agitation, fret. Is that part of delighting in the Lord, is getting rid of that? And it also says, don't be envious of the workers of iniquity. In other words, don't be envious of people who are sinful. Is that delighting in the Lord? No, but I really feel like both of these things, when we're envious of what other people have, and we're anxious, worried, upset, agitated, those are exactly the opposite. Those should be the warning lights on the dashboard that say, hey, maybe I'm not delighting in the Lord. Maybe I'm not enjoying what the Lord is doing in my life because I'm busy worried about the other things of life. I'm agitated about it, or I'm upset because I see people getting the things I should be getting. We become envious in that way. But instead, I think 3 is leading up to it, and then 4, of course, is the verse. 3 says, "Trust in the Lord and do good. Dwell in the land and feed on his faithfulness." Those are key. First, we have to trust in him. That's really what our faith is all about, isn't it? Just simply trusting in God. So I think that there's a definite connection between how much we trust in him and how much we delight in him. Because you think about it, something happens in our life, good, bad, whatever it might be. And then are we trusting that the Lord has our best interests at heart? Do we trust him enough to say, yes, you're doing something amazing, even if it's those unexpected things in your life? For example, this time last week, I was unable to make it here to the radio program because I'd have a couple of teeth extracted, and it was unexpected. I was having some pain. I knew there was a problem there, but when I got to the dentist, I really didn't expect to have both teeth extracted, and I really didn't think it was going to happen immediately. I figured, oh, they'll have me come back, do it at a different time, but it happened right there and then in an incredible way. It definitely was not what I expected, but I could spend my time being anxious, worried, fretting over this thing. I could be envious of somebody else who has better teeth. I know that sounds strange, but maybe we do those things. But am I really trusting in the Lord? Even when the doctor says you got to have those teeth extracted, even when the doctor gives you the diagnosis, are you trusting in Him? Because if you are, you're going to delight in him no matter what. That's where we get that little phrase from James, consider it pure joy when you face trials of many kinds. That's us delighting in the Lord. I trust you, Lord, no matter what is happening. Let me continue past the verse as well, because I always think it's important to read what's before and what's after. I'm not going to get through the entire psalm, but it continues. Again, verse 4, here's the verse: delight yourself in the Lord, and he shall give you the desires of your heart. And then verse 5, commit your way to the Lord and trust also in him. There's that phrase again. And he shall bring it to pass. He shall bring forth your righteousness as the light, and your justice as the noonday. Rest in the Lord. Wait patiently for him. Do not fret because of him who prospers in the way, because of the man who brings wicked schemes to pass. Now pause there. There's a couple of more commands in there, isn't there? Commit your way to the Lord. If I'm delighting in the Lord, if I'm trusting in the Lord, then I'm going to commit my way to the Lord. And that means everything I do. That also puts a different spin on everything we do in our lives, because we say, can I commit this to the Lord? This thing that I'm doing, this thing that I'm working on today, this project I'm involved in, can I commit that to the Lord? If I can't, then maybe I'm not trusting in him. Because if I can't commit it to the Lord, then maybe I shouldn't be involved in it at all. So committing your way to the Lord. Trust in him. He'll bring it to pass. And then the other part of that, down in verse 7, rest in the Lord. Wait patiently for him. That's also part of delighting in him. I love that. Resting in him, waiting patiently in him. That means I'm trusting him. And yes, I'm delighting, even if it's taking time, even if it's taking more time than I desire. And we all know how that goes. But that's how I can delight in him. When I could say, maybe this thing isn't working out. Maybe this thing isn't happening as quickly as I thought it should. But I'm going to delight in him. I'm going to trust him. I'm going to rest in him. I'm going to wait patiently. And then it repeats again. Do not fret. There's that word again. Don't be anxious. Don't be torn apart. Don't be agitated. Whatever it might be. Now, this morning, before we take it to him in prayer, where are you? Where are you in this whole scheme of things? Are you agitated? Are you fretting? Are you even maybe envious of the people that are doing bad things? I mean, we might not say it out loud, but maybe there's a part of us in the back of our mind that is. So what do I need to do? I need to turn it to God. I need to trust in him. I need to commit my way to him. I need to rest in him. I need to wait patiently in him. Then I will delight in him.